Thank you, Daphne. Good evening, members. My name is Jason Mugabe, and I'm the team leader at MESU Invesco. Of course, most of you know about Mushana Sacco, and we've been getting some questions about the difference between Mushana Sacco and MESU Invesco. So basically, MESU Invesco is a diversified investment vehicle that helps people to invest in real estate and agriculture. And whereas the Sacco, Mushana Sacco, is a financial institution that helps people to access financial services. Of course, we are partners, and of course, we work together to help Ugandans. And MESU Invesco is a child to Mushana Sacco, so it is our investment arm. So today's meeting is all about MESU Invesco's affordable housing, which is a self-build project that is going to help us to own affordable homes in Uganda. For the past 8 years, we've been helping people to buy land at half price of market value, which we've done very well, and we need to go to another stage. So from our research, we realized that whereas we have helped people to buy land, for the last 8 years, we've been helping people to buy land at half price of market value, but you see most of our estates people have not constructed, and the challenge is a number of our members are in diaspora. I'm sorry, today we are going to be brief because we have started a bit late, and we need to be closing the meeting exactly after 1 hour, so we are going to be, we are not going to waste a lot of time. So I was saying we've been helping people for the last 8 years to invest in land, of course, buy land at half price of market value. And from our research, we have realized that most of our estates, people are not building. People are not building, and the reason is a number of our members are in diaspora. Now, when people are in diaspora, they have limited time to supervise some of these projects. And of course, apart from people in diaspora, our members, most of them, they are corporates who are working class, and they have limited time to always visit and supervise these projects. So that's why they have been able to join Mushana and MESU Invesco to be helped in that line. And we wish to upgrade and start construction. Now, today's meeting is going to focus purposely on the Zirobwe project, which is Twilight Living. It is a self-build project. We are looking at building 40 houses, affordable houses, at 92 million for a 3-bedroom house, and 98 million for a 4-bedroom house. Of course, members were asking different questions, and one of them was, how possible is it going to be for us to achieve constructing a house at 92 million? Of course, they have seen on market some of these houses are sold to a tune of 150 million to 200 million. And for us, we are saying we can achieve this at 92 million. So the question rotates around that. They really want to know the mathematics behind this and how we are going to be able to achieve it. So we are going to be explaining more on that, how we are going to be able to achieve the low cost of 92 million house and 98 million for a 4-bedroom. So most people, what you've realized, they are not understanding our mathematics and, of course, our strategy of taking advantage of economies of scale to invest and own properties at half price of market value. Of course, if members are saying it is impossible for us to own a house at 92 million, because they see most of these houses are sold at 200 million, we needed to come out and explain how it is going to be achievable. So not wasting a lot of time, because we want to focus on that, I'm going to be taking you through the mathematics and the process we're going to take to achieve this. Number one, we're saying we're going to build these homes on 11 decimals, which is private Maryland, and the location is Zirobwe. I don't know if most of you know Zirobwe. Zirobwe is after Gayaza, Gayaza Busika Road. So it is after Busika, exactly after Busika, and it is easily accessible because it is tarmac throughout to Zirobwe, and this location is within the town council of Zirobwe. It is a developed neighborhood. Most of you have watched the video I shot last time. It was around 9th of this month when I shot a video. I visited the site, and I had to show you the neighborhood so that you are able to see where the homes are going to be constructed. And of course, it is a developing neighborhood. It is a good location, and we are going to have what we call the twilight living. We're going to have 40 houses and amenities. The amenities we're going to have outdoor gym. We're going to have kids play area. We're going to have a supermarket and of course a kindergarten within the estate. Those are some of the amenities we're going to have in the estate. And of course, the reason why we call it a self-build project, it is because it is members who are going to be building. You are going to be building using your contributions, the monthly contributions, and that's why it is called a self-build. And what we are going to do before construction, because most people are also asking about the security of their funds. How can they trust us to start now constructing for them, and what is their security? So we are trying to explain that your security is your land, and of course the property which is on the land. Before construction, we shall transfer the title into your name before starting construction, so that when you start contributing monthly, the contributions you are making monthly go direct to your property. So in the case of anything, the property is already in your name, and the house is developed on your title, which is in your name. So that is your security you're going to have. I know that question came to me very many times, a number of times, people asking about the security of their funds, because of course I know it is not easy to trust someone with 92 million or 98 million when you don't have any security. Of course, we shall have to go into a contract, we shall have to sign agreements. Of course, we have to go into a memorandum of understanding between the developer and the property owner. And of course, that is what I can say it is a security. Then another question was about the if members are able to have their different plans developed in the same location. Of course, we try to explain, but most people are not understanding, or they are not appreciating the uniformity in different estates, because the reason why the houses have to be the same design, and of course, same design, it is one of the factors that are leading us to cut the costs. Because if you are going to construct and we are using same house plan, you understand that, of course, instead of paying for 40 house plans, you are going to pay for one. Or if you are going to have two houses of two, I'm seeing some people, Joyce and Godwin. Okay, so I was saying now, the reason why we are building houses of same design, it is because it is one of the factors that is leading us to cut costs, but also to make the estate smart. Yes, Annette is asking about, I think that is, of course, we are going to come to that. We're going to come to that. Members who have different, of course, we know Mushan has estates in different areas, and we shall come to that, helping people to construct in different areas or different estates. So I was saying the reason why we are building same design, one is to cut costs. We are cutting costs on the house plans. Instead of having 40 house plans, we're going to have one. for the 2-bedroom, for the 3-bedroom, and have one for 5-bedroom. So here we're going to have 2 house plans which are going to be approved for the 40 houses. That is number one, how we are going to cut costs. So it is impossible for us to have, of course, and when we allow people to bring in different designs, so we're not going to be able to achieve a house at 92 million, a 3-bedroom house at 92 million. I hope that one is understandable, and we're going to be explaining it more when we go to calculations. And then another question was about people are not understanding that however much we are saying we're going to achieve constructing house at 92 million, it is in the same location. It is not, because I tried to explain it some time back when people continuously asked the same question. When we started marketing this, of course, even from our research, we found out that people start on construction, and at a certain stage, of course, they find challenges along the way, and the houses, maybe you find houses on the foundation, wall plate, or on roofing level, and they are unable to continue, or they hold because of financial challenges. Now the question was, are we able to help people who have already started on their constructions in different locations? Of course, it is not possible for us to do that, and we are unable to achieve the 3-bedroom house at 92 million if we are to construct in different areas. Of course, you can imagine if one house is in Mukono, another one is in Wakiso. We cannot take any advantage of economies of scale in that way, because you know, some of the reusable construction materials like wood, wheelbarrows, you cannot transport them from Mukono to Wakiso. And like I said, these are some of the factors that are going to lead to cutting costs within this project. Because if you're in the same area, building the same location, we're going to be able to reuse some of these building materials. You complete one house, you transfer the wood to another site. The wheelbarrows we're using on one site can be reusable on the other site. So it is also impossible for us to build houses in different locations, because it will not help us cut any costs. Of course, even supervision costs are going to be high. And then another question was, of course, this is different for members who have plots in different Mushana estates. They were asking if they're able to join the project, and we build for them in different Mushana estates. This is the same as, of course, it is not entirely the same, because at least for them they bought the plots from Mushana, and maybe Mushana got some profit from that. But what we did for members with different plots is we have Mushana hardware and we have Mushana Circle. Mushana Circle helps you to save. You are able to have to open up a self-build account, and you are able to save your money so that you are able to buy or access building materials from Mushana hardware at lesser cost from other hardwares. Of course, if you are fixing your money, you will be earning interest from Mushana Circle instead of you keeping it with other banks or keeping it under the bed. Once you are saving with Mushana Circle, you are able to earn some profit, which is 15% per annum. Actually, it is the highest in the country, of course. And you are able to save, and you are able to access building materials from Mushana hardware. So with that, we are able to help you at least start on your self-build journey. And you can go on and hire MESU Invesco to manage your site. But that is a different arrangement, not the same as the Tree Light Living Zirobwe project. So I think those are some of the questions, and of course I'll be getting more Here I wanted to take you through the mathematics of the mathematics we're using for us to be able to achieve the 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom at 92 and 98 million. So number one, we are saying we are going to have these houses in Zirobwe. Zirobwe is in Gayaza after Busika, and we're going to have, we have earmarked 5 acres for this project, and we get 8 plots from each acre. I hope you are able to, I don't know, most of you, if you have where to write, we can have this calculation together and we see if it's possible for us. I'm saying we're going to have 40 houses constructed on 5 acres, and we're going to have 40 plots of 11 decimals. Remember, we have in 1 acre you can get about 8 plots of 11.5 decimals or 7 plots of 12.5 decimals. But with the Mushana scheme, we get 11.5 decimals because we get 8 plots, and that is how it works in most estates here. So when we get 8 plots from 1 acre of 11 decimals, we shall have 40 plots. And once we get 40 plots, you will see we are saying we are going to have an initial deposit of 10 million from each plot or from each person who has bought or invested in this project. So once we have 10 million from 40 people or 40 plots, we have 400 million that as initial deposit within this project. So we have 400 million. Then we are going to have 2.3 million monthly contribution from each of this plot or from each of the members who invested in this project. Now when we have 2.3 million, that is 92 million. And we are saying a 3-bedroom house is going to cost us 92 million. So this means if we have the 400 million from initial investment, the initial deposit, and we have the 2.3 million per month, that makes it 92 million. There is no way I'm going to fail to achieve this, to complete the project within the time, the 3 years. But members were confused about our capacity to deliver the house at 92 million, and yet they see it is a bit costly and more expensive than what we are marketing. So this is how it is going to work out. One, if you are to buy, for example, if you are to buy this complete house, even if the developer invested in 80 million, remember this property, if you are buying, it always attracts what we call income tax. So what happens, URA values this property, and when you are transferring the property from the developer to your name, of course, the developer has to pay what we call the income tax after the sale. That's why you have to put in your NIN number, and the vendor puts in the NIN number, and they pay the tax. So before he sells, developers, of course, that's their business. They always know. They always know that I've invested in 100 million, and I will have to pay, if I'm to sell, I will need to pay URA maybe 30 million. So after considering that, the developer will also say, I also need 50% return on investment. So if he wants 50% return on investment, what he's going to do is to get his 50% return on investment, adds on URA income tax, then he gets a total cost, and that's what he will be asking price. So you can imagine if the developer invests in 100 million, and URA is going to charge him, let's say 30%, which is 30 million, or 20%, which is 20 million. and he also wants 50% return on investment. That is an increment of 80 million if the URA is taking 30% or 20%. So now when you add the developer's cost, which is 100 million, plus URA income tax and his return on investment, it is going to be 180 million. But remember, when he's putting this on the market, he's not going to ask for 180 million because he knows there's negotiation. You must negotiate if you are going to invest in this property. So this is going to ask for 200 million. So when he asks for 200 million, you're going to negotiate. And of course, you go down to maybe 185. And for him, we will have achieved his 50% return on investment and also paying URA, the income tax. So that is one, and that's how these houses always become expensive if you are to purchase already or a complete house. Then another way how houses are expensive, and these are some of the problems we are solving so that we're able to achieve the house at a half price of market value. Another way is, of course, someone is going to look at that and say, okay, complete houses on the market are expensive, I may not afford, and the fact that they always want a lump sum or paying in installments of big amounts, of course, people always they always have to know how they are going to have these houses that are within their means. So what happens, they want to always build in phases. Of course, they will get engineers, and the engineers always give them what we call BOQs, and they start constructing in phases. Now, when you start constructing in phases, a house can even take you 10 years. You're going to build a foundation. Maybe you get a break for 2 years. You reach on a wall plate, you get a break for 2 years or 3 years, because now from wall plate, that is the most expensive stage. Roofing is the most expensive stage on a building if it is a bungalow. So when it is that stage, sometimes you have seen houses which have been on wall plate maybe for 5 years, because someone is looking for 30 million to roof a house, or is looking for 20 million to roof a house. So you can imagine someone needs 20 million or 30 to just roof. And what happens, most of these people, they are misled. Most of these people are misled when it comes to construction, especially ladies, because when you approach an engineer, for him, will quote for you a house that is going to take about 200 million. He will tell you you need maybe 50 million, and you will be excited to start. Now, when you start, and maybe the money will get finished at the foundation level. So now, when you start constructing in phases, those are the challenges we are going to face. Of course, you may lose a job, or you may face any other life challenges, as you know, and of course you will fail to finish your house. Now, even building in phases, it is an expensive approach, because remember, every time you finish a phase and you are going to have a break for 2 years, the building materials, let's say wood, maybe even the leftovers on materials like sand and blocks, by the time the 2 years elapse, you may not find anything, and you have to buy new ones. So now, when you lose sand, you lose bricks, the ones which are left after constructing the foundation, it means now that you are losing money. The sand is going to be washed away by water, the rainwater, and you are losing money. So, and at the end, the house is going to be very expensive for you. So, number one, building a house in phases, and the other cost, of course, the other side for complete houses, it is always expensive because of the other factors I've explained. Now, for phases, those who are building houses in phases because they are unable to have the house the complete house from the developers, it also becomes expensive. It is expensive and stressful. Now, those are the two challenges we are solving, and they are leading us to own this house at 92 million. How are we going to have the house at 92 million? Number one, we are going to have these houses constructed on plots of land which are already transferred into owners' names for us to be able to avoid the URA tax. I hope I don't have any URA officer here, but at least we are avoiding, we are not failing to pay. So we want to avoid what we would pay to URA through the developer or the vendor if we were to buy a complete house, and we're also avoiding to pay the vendor or the developer the other huge, the bigger return on investment, because for him he's an investor and invests in a business to get returns. I told you, if a developer is to sell a house, is going to consider the URA income tax after sale, and is also going to consider his return on investment. And of course, a house where he invests 100 million is going to ask for 200 million. So we are avoiding those two things. So how are we going to avoid that? Number one, we are going to have these houses constructed on plots of land or plots which are already transferred in people's names, and that makes it easy for us to avoid the other tax and have the house constructed by the owners, which is self-built. So it is you who's going to be building this house. And of course, it is also building in phases, but here now we are taking advantage of economies of scale, and coming together is going to help us. Because remember, I told you, I think I'm going to use the whiteboard here. So I don't know if you're able to see. Let me just push it here. So I said we are going to have 5 acres. We are going to have 5 acres of land. And in 5 acres, we're going to get 40 plots. Now, 40 plots of course, we're going to have 11.5 decimals, or what most of you know as 50 by 100. So now, when we have 40 plots from the 5 acres, and we are saying each plot here is going to pay us 10 million, the initial deposit of 10 million, it is going to give us 400 million, right? Now we're going to have 400 million as initial deposit. And then we expect to have 2.3 million per month from each of the 40 houses. So we are going to, the 40 houses give times 2.3. If you have a calculator, you can see it is going to give us, this is 40 times 2.3. It is going to give us 92 million. So 92 million per month. So when it gives us 92 million per month, remember we are saying you are going to be paying for this house for 3 years. So in 3 years, we have 3 years, we have 36 months, yes. 3 years, we have 36 months. Now, what happens here? So we have 5 acres, we have 40 plots of 11.5 decimals, or 50 by 100, and we are going to have 10 million initial deposit from each of the 40 plots, of the 40 people who are buying into this project. And of course, we expect 40 people or 40 houses to contribute about 2.3 million per month, which is 92 million. That means every month you are going to expect to have funds to enable us construct a house. And of course, okay, I've seen a question there, but it's okay. So once we have the 92 million per month, that means we have a complete house. If you have a complete house every month for 3 years, we have 36 months. Meaning we have 36 houses constructed. But remember, We also have the initial deposit of 400 million. That means that the remaining 4 houses will also be able to complete them within the time. Now, one of the questions was, what if some of the people from the 40 people gets problems? Of course, that's a big community, 40 people. We expect to have people are going to lose jobs, people are going to fall sick, and maybe, God forbid, those who are going to die, who are going to lose their lives. And that's why we're saying, from the beginning, we need the 10 million as initial deposit. And once we have the 10 million from each of the 40 people, for us, we shall be able to start on construction, because we know the 10 million, first of all, is commitment that you are buying into this idea and you are able to move with us. Now, when we start on construction, remember, we start on construction and we're expecting 92 million monthly, which is able to help us put up another house every month. So, in case any of the 40 people gets a challenge along the way and is unable to continue, or gets a break for a few months, the project will not stop. We shall continue constructing as we are finding a way of solving the challenge. But of course, we shall not stop because one of us has lost a job or has encountered some challenges along the way. So that is one. Then another question was, what if someone has contributed some significant amount, and at the end the person loses his life or her life? What happens? So what happens in that case? For us, we shall continue constructing the house, and of course, let's say someone has contributed about 70% or 80%, and God forbid someone loses his life. We shall have to sit with the family, and of course we find a solution. And one of the solutions is, one, the house can be completed and rented out for us to be able to recover the balance, or agreeing with the family to resell the house so that the family, of course, now when you are in real estate, when you are selling a complete house, remember, now you become an investor and you expect to have what we call the profits or return on investment. Now, if the complete house is to be sold, then the developer or the vendor always has a markup. So from this markup, remember, the deceased contributed 70% or 60%. Of course, we look at how much the house is fetching after sale. Then the deceased will be paid what he invested in plus the markup plus the return on investment. And if the contribution is, maybe it is like 90%, of course, you cannot, we may not consider now that option of reselling, but we can consider the option of renting out the house to recover the funds, and then the family can always have the center you are presenting. I don't know what you are presenting. So I don't know, is everyone hearing me? Yes, so I was saying, in case we get such challenges where one of us gets a challenge, and maybe after contributing a significant amount, someone dies, we, of course, when we are signing agreements, they always have next of kin and contact people. We sit on a round table, we discuss how it is going to be handled, and we have only two options. One is to rent out the house and recover the costs or the balance that was remaining to pay fully. Number two is to sell so that the family of the deceased is able to recover what they invested in plus the profit or the markup. Those are the two options for us to settle that in case one of us gets a challenge. Then another question was on members who are going to, of course, some may encounter challenges for a few months, but is able to recover. And so they were asking how it is going to work. Of course, that is like, because this is a self-build, and one of the benefits, one of the benefits of now taking advantage of economies of scale or working as a group is we're able to recover, we're able to cover you. If you have a problem for the 2 months, it cannot stop us from continuing because we're waiting for you. Like I told you, if we have the 400 million for the start, from the initial deposit, for us we shall start on construction, on the project, because we expect to have the 92 million every month. And in case any of us gets a challenge, we shall not stop, we shall continue as we find a way of solving the challenge. And of course, some of the challenges, maybe some may fall sick, some may lose a job, or some may be transferred, like those who are working in government sector, they are always transferred and accessing their salaries. Someone can take about 2 months or 3 months before they get back on payroll. So those are such challenges can be covered by members of the group, and that's one of the advantages for members who are working as a group. I think, like I said, we are not going to, it is already 7, I think, but we started late, so we still have about 20 minutes, and I'm going to be welcoming some questions from members, those who would want to ask questions. Maybe, I don't know if from the chat we have some of the questions. I'm going to ask yes, I think let me start from the in-call. Someone is asking if someone is saying if the home is 100 by 100 and they want rooms a bit bigger. No, like I said, we are going to have these houses constructed on when we are doing our calculation, of course, one, we looked at the taking advantage of economies of scale, and number 2, we considered the 40 plots. Of course, if you want your house at 100 by 100, you are going to have, because each plot of 50 by 100 goes for 10 million. So houses to be seated on 100 by 100, they are going to cost you, for the 3 bedroom, it is going to be 102 million. And for the 3 bedroom, for the 4, it is going to be 108 million. Of course, you have to add the 10. I hope that one is answered. Then if you want the rooms to be bigger, now that is another arrangement. It may not, because remember, these costs we have considered the 40 houses for us to come up with this cost. So in the case of any slight change, it may affect us. It may affect us. And yes, but that one can be worked on. Someone was also asking if they want 2 bedrooms. Some may want 2 bedrooms, but of course we are going to look at the size, because we work with the size of the house. We know the number of meters, so we work with square meters to come up with the figures. So that one can be worked on, because first of all, we are going to have most of the building materials are going to be made from the site. One, we're going to have the blocks made from the site. If we come to now doors and windows, of course, we're going to use steel. They will be welded from the side. Those are some of the things we're going to work on so that we're able to have these houses at 92 million. Let me have the question. I saw someone who was putting on, put his hand down. I don't know if Daphne is on, so that he can help on, she can help on some of the questions. Okay, someone was saying they cannot see the board, but I hope they were seeing. Let's see. Someone is saying, okay, the 3D design of the interior plus the exact sizes of the rooms. Yes, that is going to be out. Of course, the plan was released, and most people have that. That is going to be the 3D design is going to be out. It's going to be out. Do you have anyone with a question? Someone can ask. Unmute the microphone and ask questions. Yes, Robert. Robert Abikira.
Robert Ambijire. Thank you so much. I'm a new member here. I haven't understood properly how I can pay when I'm abroad here. And is it possible to get a place I want, a plot in a place I want, and I pay according to how my salary is? Is it possible?
Okay, Robert, how you pay? Are you already on our group?
Yes, please.
One of our groups, right?
Yes, Mushana.
Yes. Now, you paying from abroad. One, you can do a wire transfer to our bank account, or you can use some of those apps like Wave. I saw someone today was sending money through Wave. You know those apps?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you can easily transfer funds to our accounts. Then, if you are able to buy a plot of land in any place you want, I think, first of all, what we do usually when we are to buy land, if you're in our group, you have seen there is a call inviting members to attend the Sunday visit to Kasanje. We're going to have our fourth phase. So what we usually do is we have a land search team which is always in the field searching for us suitable locations. And of course, we've been focusing on Kampala Metropolitan for the real estate. And because we are looking at taking advantage of economies of scale to have these plots at half price or market value, we are unable to have everyone choose their own location. So we buy big chunks of land in one location, call members who are interested, pay in installments so that we're able to have these plots at half price or market value. So if we are to have everyone choose their own location, so it becomes hard for us to achieve that.
Okay, I understand. You said Kasanje is on Sunday?
Yes, site visit for Kasanje is on Sunday, but we also have different, for example, we have Kasanje, it is ongoing. We have Bwebaja, it is also ongoing, and we have other projects which are ongoing for those who are interested in buying land.
How about price around Bwebaja? How much? And Kasanje, compare?
Bwebaja is 30 million for now, 30.2 million, and Kasanje is 12.2 million.
Okay. How do I pay 12 point something million? How do I pay per month? It's you to give me the amount I should pay, or I pay according to how I earn?
You pay according to how you earn, as long as you are going to pay by the deadline.
Okay. Okay. How long do you give?
It is always 6 months.
That
6 months payment plan. So yes, it is 6 months. Hopefully that is it is good enough for members to be able to complete the payments. Because for 12 million now we look at maybe 2 million per month or 3 million depending on how you earn.
okay.
Okay.
I thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other question, members? Yes, Richard, you can ask your question, Richard Asimwe. What do you want?
Yes, Jason, how are you?
I'm okay, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. Can you get me?
Yes, please.
You're hearing me? Eh?
Yes, sir.
I had a question. I'm talking about the Twilight project.
Yes, sir.
It is looking at construction of the units. Eh?
Yes.
So I wanted to find out, in case I finished the purchase price of you said payment is 10 million.
Yes.
If I finish the purchase price of the land, can the title be transferred into my names as the project is ongoing for construction, or I have to wait until the house has been constructed, then I'll get the title and then the house? How is it?
Oh wow. Maybe I've joined that late. So I was explaining. We had that's the conversation we've been having. Sorry.
Sorry to take you back.
Yes.
I joined in a bit late.
Oh yeah. Now, once you pay 10 million, the title is going to be transferred into your name, and the reason is we are trying to avoid URA tax. Now, once we construct a house on a property, that property now becomes, the value increases. If you are going to transfer that property into your name after construction, URA will have to value the property on land, and it becomes very expensive. And that's why most of the concrete houses on the market are expensive, because the vendor or the developer always considers the URA tax after sale plus their markup. So when you add the markup of the vendor, if you invest in 100 million, real estate vendors always want 50% return on investment. Is going to look at 50 million as their markup. Then they also add on maybe URA 30 million, the tax. So they will have to ask for 200 million, so that there is that negotiation gap, so that at least you come down to 185 or 190 million. So the vendor will have achieved his target of earning 50% return on investment, and of course you pay URA maybe the 30 million. But remember, the house cost him only 100 million. So to avoid that, we are saying once you pay 10 million, you are going to have your title into your name. So that now when you start the monthly contribution of 2.3 million, it is you building actually, and MESU Invesco is only managing your side. Hope it is understandable.
Yes, thank you so much, Jason. That's very understandable.
Okay.
Thank you for the presentation.
Yes, someone, okay, Bruno, you are raising your hand. I can have your question.
Mine is merely a small submission. I'm only a guest here. Johnson, I know you know. Yeah, so only that to thank you for the arrangement, and such ideas are needed, and perhaps only to thank you for having brought us this far, and I hope the same arrangement will be made available for us in other places when the time comes. Thank you.
Bruno, your title is coming out soon, so I hope this time I'm not going to miss. We shall have the titles when you are taking possession in Kabub.
I won't miss Johnson, and I really appreciate.
I mean, thank you. Yes, any other question? Someone is asking, of course, they want Kokonjero, same price. Yes, we shall look into that. Of Kokonjero, of course, people are getting more interested in Kokonjero. We shall do more research and see if we are able to have more land at a cheaper price. Then, yes, do you have any other question? Bruno, yeah. Bruno, your hand is still up?
No. I had wrote it before, so ignore it.
Okay, so members, this is how we are going to be able to take advantage because of scale. And of course, with this project, first of all, if you are having 40 houses in one location, we are going to have all the building materials at factory price and some of the materials at wholesale price. For example, we are going to have, if you are to start on construction, I said once we get the 400 million from the 40 plots, now for us, the first thing to start with, we are going to start now making blocks, the blocks to use while construction. Now when we are making blocks, there are 2 or 3 materials we need. We need sand, maybe stone dust, and the cement. Now the cement, to make the blocks, we are going to get at half price, or I mean at wholesale price or factory price, because we are going to be making blocks to build 40 houses in one location. And you know what it means, of course. The people who make blocks, it is the business. If you are going to buy blocks from someone who has made them, that person has a markup. That person has a markup, and we are avoiding that markup for us to be able to now to come down to 92 million. So if we are able to have the blocks at the site made by ourselves, having cement to make the blocks at a wholesale price or factory price, it is going to be cheaper for us. And then we are going to have other building materials like paint, of course, iron sheets, the nails. They are going to be at wholesale price. And remember, before launching this project, we launched our hardware. We have Mushana hardware, and we're going to be buying most of these building materials under Mushana hardware on a factory price, so that we're able to cut the costs. And now building, for example, when it comes to steel works, for example, the doors and windows, they are going to be made from the site. Most of you have gone to these bigger sites, you see that they weld from the site. Now when you are welding from the site, it means we shall just only buy the steel, and we're going to weld these windows and doors at the site. When we do that, you're also cutting more costs, because people in that business, they are making money. When you go there to buy, maybe they are also earning a markup of a certain percentage. Now that certain percentage, once we avoid it, we're going to achieve the house at 92 million. So you are going to have the building materials at a wholesale price. You are going to have to avoid the URA tax, you're going to avoid the vendor's markup. And once we do that, we are going to be able to achieve this house at affordable cost. And of course, the beauty of working together as a group, I told you, if you are investing in a property alone, if you are building in phases, it is going to take some time and cost you a lot of money. But here you are going to be able to build in phases, but you will not feel it. Your house will continue progressing well, and however much you are building in phases. So if you don't have any other question, I don't know if someone is Yes, Daphne?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mugabe. That was quite elaborate, and I think the feedback we are getting from the members on the call, that it was quite elaborate. Thank you very much for this amazing presentation. Helen has said that it was a perfect step-by-step explanation, and she has learnt a lot. And I don't know if you had gone through this question from Zaid Mukasa. He's saying it's a gated community, the exterior wall and other community amenities be contributed by the community or the houses fence be built to close the community. I think he's asking if there will be a fence to be built and if it's a gated community and who is going to be responsible for the exterior wall. Maybe you could first take that one on and maybe we can see how we can wrap the meeting up. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I think I'd forgotten on that. Now, members, so when we say we are taking advantage of economies of scale, members shouldn't be looking at things like security as a threat to them. Because here, if it is a gated community, you are going to afford to have armed security at a very cheap cost. Let's say you have 40 houses and you need maybe 4 armed security personnel. So the 40 people, because to have, but for 4 armed officers, for a 40 house community, maybe you need like 2 and 2 are armed. So you may need maybe about 4 million per month in security. Now for 40 houses, how much are you going to be contributing? But the cost is inclusive of the perimeter wall, which is going to provide security for the community. And the shorter, of course, the perimeter wall, which is the outside the community, is high raised, but the inside perimeter walls are going to be shorter. And of course, after construction, we shall have to engage the community to explain and teach them about taking advantage of economies of scale to manage things like security, garbage collection, and of course, any other, some of those services that are provided to communities and needs to be contributed for. One of the disturbing questions, and of course, which has always discouraged people because they don't understand what it means, is that they always say people who are living in condos or gated communities, they continue paying rent or as if they are still renting. But they forget that if you have your private home, for example, if I have a private home, I will need to hire a private security guard who's armed, and I must pay not less than 1 million for a day and night. I'm going to have, if you don't have the armed security, you're going to deploy someone to look after your dogs, and you're going to buy dogs. To feed a dog, a security dog, one can even feed maybe 10,000 per day. Now you can just multiply by 40 days, by 30 days. You are going to have the cleaners come and clean. So, I mean, it is just because people don't understand these things. A private home has more security lights than an apartment or a house which is in a community. So when people don't understand these things, they assume the gated communities or the condos are expensive. But in reality, the condominium are not expensive, or the houses which are in gated communities are not expensive. What is expensive is owning a private home. Owning a private home is very expensive because you are literally paying for everything alone. But in a community, you are sharing as a group. So that one shouldn't worry members. Hope the question is answered.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope your question was answered, Mr. Mukasa. And Helen is saying, under administration and management, communal amenities like the swimming pool.
It has been answered.
Oh, it has been answered. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, fine. So, first of all, thank you very much, Mr. Mugabe, for such an elaborate conversation. And once again, the members that are on call, we thank you so much for taking your time to be part of this call. And we hope that you'll be part of many more calls that we are going to make out. This is not the last one, especially about this project. This is such a big project. We are going to continuously engage the members interested in investing in it. We're going to continuously engage the community. We're going to continuously engage each and everyone that is interested in this project. You might not get interested today, but you'll get interested tomorrow. And if you have someone that is willing to be part of this, you can let them know, and whenever we share these invitations on the WhatsApp groups, please endeavor to join in and be part of these initiatives. And maybe just so you know, we are going to be sharing this meeting on our YouTube channel. So for those that haven't checked out our YouTube channels, please go to YouTube and look for MESU Invesco, and you'll be able to find us, and you'll be able to subscribe to that channel, because that is where we are going to be sharing this particular meeting and presentation, so that it's easier for you to go back to it and learn what you have not understood, and also be able to share with a number of people that would love to be part of you or would love to learn more about affordable housing in Uganda. And in the interest of time, I am going to be closing this meeting. I'll probably be requesting if Mr. Mugabe would like to have his closing remarks. But in the meantime, please make sure that if you are not part of our WhatsApp groups, make sure you leave your contact behind in the chat, so that we can be able to add you. That way you'll be able to follow up with the activities, and be able to communicate there. It's easier for us to communicate there, so that everyone is on the same page about each and every activity that we are doing. And maybe for those that are still on call, we are going to be having a site visit for Kasanje next week on 3rd. And we are hoping that if you are part of Kasanje Phase 4, or if you are interested in buying land in Kasanje, please, this is your chance to come and visit, come and see the land, come and see if you are interested, and get to interact with the other investors that are in Mushana and MESU, and you'll be able to be part of the big thing. So kindly mark your calendars this Saturday. Plan to come through and enjoy, and also be able to check out the land.
Oh, definitely. It is a Sunday. Definitely.
It's a Sunday.
Yes, please.
Yes, it's on Sundays. It's a Sunday on 3rd. So 3rd Sunday, please come through to Kasanje. We will be setting off at 11. And just 1 minute. Yes, we'll be setting off at 11 from at 10 from Chengela Mall. We are meeting at 10 and we are setting off at 11 from Chengela Mall. And it's self-drive, so you will be driving yourselves. If you have someone that you can come with, please bring them along. so that you can be able to experience what a site visit is, and you'll be able to see if you love the place, and if you don't love the place, you will visit some other place, because we have lots of visitors in that part of it. So I'm going to call out if there is anyone else who has an inquiry or a question or something that wasn't answered. We'll be having more of these engagements, and we'll look forward to having you in these meetings. And I'll call out Mr. Mugabe to give us his closing remarks, and then we shall be closing this meeting later. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne. Thank you everyone who has attended this meeting. I hope we're going to be having more of these. And of course, once we start on construction, we're going to be having more engagement meetings with members of the community. We plan to have a site visit for this project, and also a launch. We shall have a launch for the project once we have a sufficient number for us to be able to start. We are saying we need a community of about 40 people who are going to be contributing about 2.3 million per month. That gives us 92 million to be able to put up a house every month. So once we have the 92 million every month, we are sure that at least by the 3 years, all the houses will be complete. And of course, members asking many questions about the project. All those questions will be answered in the following engagement meetings. We shall keep, of course, explaining. Time may not be enough for us to explain everything in one meeting, in one engagement. But like I said, we're going to have more of this, and especially for members who will be subscribing or will be investing in this project. Thank you, everyone. I hope the meeting maybe helped on explaining about the project, so that people are able to understand and come on board and have this. And of course, what I have seen with members, some of them, they are saying maybe Zirobwe is far. Some are doubting if the community or the location and the neighborhood is dropped. Yes, it is. I said Zirobwe, it is tarmac throughout to Zirobwe. And the exact location of this project, it is within the town council of Zirobwe. If you were able to watch the other video I shared, you managed to see that at least people are seriously constructing that location. And any other amenities, you people always look at, like maybe power, water, all those are within that area. So, and once we have such a community, your properties will continue growing in value. These communities actually, once we are able to achieve this, your property will be appreciating in value every 3 months actually. And remember, we said one of the best investment strategies is to have any investment property at a lesser cost of what is of the value that is on the market. Like I said, a house you can get at 200 million on the market, you are going to have it at 92 million, less than 100 million. So this is what we want to sell to you, so that we're able to buy it and we grow together. So let's do this. Let's have these houses at a lesser cost than what you would spend if you were to buy a complete house of the same size, and of course maybe which is even in a poor environment, because we are creating the best. So we're going to have the best for less. Let everyone join this project so that we're able at least to pull it off, and we can be able to have more of these. Those who enjoy, those are the people who are going to start now, so that in the 3 years to come, if you invest 90 million, in 3 years to come, maybe you have about 300 million if you have to put it on the market. And I wish to see everyone achieving that. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mugabe, for such an insightful, engaging meeting today. And maybe for context, members, the Twilight Living Estate in Zirobwe is going to feature a 3-bedroom house for 92 million, which will be sitting on 11.5 decimals, and the initial deposit is 10 million and the balance of 82 million will be payable in a monthly installment of 2.3 million for a period of 3 years. And it also features a 4-bedroom house that goes for 98 million, sitting on 11.5 decimals. And the initial deposit is 10 million and the balance of 88 million is going to be payable in a monthly installment of 2.5 million for 3 years. And it also features a 4-bedroom house that is going to be going for 108 million, that will be sitting on 23 decimals, and the initial deposit is 20 million and the balance of 88 million will be payable in a monthly installment of 2.5 million for a period of 3 years. So you can become a homeowner in 3 years. If you start now, in 3 years you can become a homeowner, and you don't have to be in Uganda to do this. You can be anywhere in the world. You can be in the UK, you can be in Dubai, you can be in the US, you can be in Germany, and you can still build here because you will be working with the best. And trust us, we are going to deliver for you. And we have been trusted for over 8 years. We have been in real estate and will be able to deliver the best for less. Thank you very much for joining in this meeting. I'll be closing this meeting, and I hope that we were able to get what we could. I guess there are no more questions now, and yes, I am going to be closing this meeting. Thank you very much for joining in. Once again, subscribe to our YouTube channels. If you are not on the WhatsApp groups, please share your number so that you can add you on the groups. And we are looking forward to working with you. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. You can leave at leisure, but for now, we'll just open the floor to whoever wants to say hello to the other, and then we shall be closing the meeting in a few minutes. Thank you very much for joining in once again.
Thank you. The sunset is off now. And to the presenter of the day, have a nice evening.
Who is that? That is Mark. Mark.
Yes, sir.
You put a video, we see.
Yeah, the video for what? There it is, sir.
Man, where are you? Are you still at office? Godwin, alright? Where is Godwin?
I don't know. He's been online.
I see Joyce. Joyce and Godwin were playing games.
Yeah, I saw that.
Joyce.
All right. Have a nice evening.
Yes.
Okay.